May 14, 2026. Donald Trump shook Xi Jinping's hand on the steps of the Great Hall. 83 years ago, another American president shook a Chinese leader's hand, Franklin Roosevelt, and Chiang Kai-shek, head of China's nationalist government. Cairo, 1943. They were on the same side of a world war, both fighting Japan. 8 years later, American and Chinese soldiers were killing each other in Korea. This is how an alliance fell apart in 8 years. It started in 1937, when Japan invaded China. By Pearl Harbor in December 1941, China had been fighting Japan alone for 4 years. The two countries became allies overnight. Madame Chiang Kai-shek, his wife, addressed Congress in a black silk dress and asked America for more weapons and money to keep fighting Japan. She got it. America sent General Joseph Stilwell to turn China's exhausted army with U.S. weapons into a force that could push Japan out. But Stilwell and Chiang fought over strategy. Stilwell wanted China to throw everything at Japan. Chiang wanted to save his troops for his real enemy after the war, Mao Zedong's communists. Up north, in the caves of Yan'an, Mao and the Chinese Communist Party were waiting for Japan to fall and for the Civil War to resume. Roosevelt sided with Chiang's strategy. Stilwell was recalled. Japan surrendered in August 1945. Within months, China's Civil War resumed. Chiang's Nationalist Party, the KMT, against Mao's communists. The KMT lost battle after battle. On October 1, 1949, Mao declared the People's Republic of China. Chiang fled to Taiwan with the gold and the navy. In Washington, the question became an accusation. Who lost China to communism? The American diplomats, who had warned about Chiang's corruption, were driven out of the State Department. By 1952, they were gone. For 2 decades, America refused to recognize the new China and blocked it from the United Nations. Then in June 1950, communist North Korea invaded the South to Washington, the first move in a global communist plan. General Douglas MacArthur, who had accepted Japan's surrender 5 years earlier, landed at Inchon and drove the war toward China. By late October, his forces were within 40 miles of the Chinese border. On October 19, 1950, more than 200,000 Chinese soldiers crossed the Yalu River into Korea. For 2.5 years, American and Chinese soldiers killed each other in Korean mountains and frozen reservoirs. MacArthur wanted to bomb China, even with atomic weapons. Truman fired him to avoid a third world war. 2 more years of stalemate followed. On July 27, 1953, an armistice froze Korea in two, along the line where the fighting stopped. No peace treaty was ever signed. 3 million people were dead, most of them civilians. What followed was silence. No embassies, no flights, no trade, no contact. For another generation, the two largest countries on the Pacific pretended the other did not exist, and the American, who would finally break the silence, had to lie his way into Beijing. Follow for part 3.